Hey, it's Edna White. I just wanted to say something to you this week because I was getting a lot of emails and a lot of responses from my last input on YouTube, and I wanted to share the fact that it's so very important to know that when you're asking for or sharing something about sexual abuse or sexual trauma or any type of trauma, that it is the beginning of something really great in you, because you are reaching out. And the most dangerous thing to have in your life, or to let be part of your life, is to be quiet, because that stills your voice and it disempowers you. It doesn't give you the power to strengthen yourself or to have confidence in yourself. It doesn't give you self-worth. And I know for some, like myself, as a survivor that did not get any retribution or didn't make the perpetrator responsible for what happened to me, it is so empowering to have the voice to say, this is what happened to me, this is when it happened, and my feelings are valid. And when you do that, whether you're in a support group, whether you're in a Facebook group, whether you're talking to someone that you trust and you're safe with them, it really makes a big difference. It's the big first stepping stone to your recovery, to your wholeness. It's the first step to everything that has to do with you. Because when this happens to you, when trauma happens in your life, when sexual abuse happens, when a sexual attack happens, you lose a part of your power. And your power is basically that I am where I am, when I am, how I am. And when you lose that due to those sexual abuse, basically it peels away who you really are. Number one, it peels away the fact that you are male or female. It peels away the fact that you are human and you do have power over yourself. It peels away the things that you would normally learn if you were in a whole home. If you were parented by whole parents, it peels that away. It peels away your ability to decipher who is good and who is not good. So basically, it entrenches your trust with people. And I know for myself, it took me a very long time to trust people. It took me a very long time to even have a voice when I would engage in conversations, or people would engage in conversations with me. I had very little to say, even though my mind was going, I had the answers. I would kind of limit myself because I didn't even trust myself. And it's very important and empowering to know that you can say and you can believe that you are important when you say, this happened to me and this is when it happened. It may not come back fully, and it may not be what some people don't want to hear, what your parents don't want to hear, what your kids don't want to hear, what your spouse doesn't want to hear. But guess what? Keeping this inside of you makes it part of you and not you part of it. And what do I mean by that? Meaning that just like a street, just like a road, it can start as a dirt road. But as it grows and as it puts in direction from south to west, south to north, or east to west, it starts to get direction. So it starts to get a sign, starts to get paved. It becomes something useful. When you keep a secret inside, when you don't speak about it, you still are that dirt road that has not formed, and no one will go down that road. You will not You will not get anyone that's going to be able to travel that road. And the worst thing of all, you are not going to get any growth. And that's the scary thing about not sharing. I know when I was not sharing, and then when I was not in a support group and not going to counseling, I didn't grow. As much as I went to school, as much as I took courses, I didn't grow. And the reason why I didn't grow, because we're put in this body, in this temple, to relate to someone else or to some things in this world. And when that is limited, we do not grow. Yes, our bodies, we go from childhood to young adult to adulthood, but our spirits and our souls maintain the same emotional boundaries as the 5-year-old, as a 10-year-old, as a teenager, as a 23-year-old. And we never grow. It's very hard. I will tell you, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of dealing with your emotional sides. Dealing with the sadness, dealing with the happiness, dealing with the failures. It's a lot of that work that most of us don't like to feel. We don't like to feel the other side of love. The other side of love is dark. It is dark, and it is painful, but it exists, and we need to face it. We need to deal with it. And when we choose not to, because that's what we really do, we choose not to because either someone told us, oh, get over it, and cover it up. But just like a street that is going to be paved, that was dirt, it has to be smoothed out. It has to be straightened and flattened so that vehicles can drive on it, so that people can relate to you, so that people can travel. And you are a travel mechanism to most people. Your experiences, your trials and your tribulations, your failures, your happiness enlightens other people. And without that, without sharing that, you won't go far at all. So I encourage you to, when you start to share, like you've been doing, to all those that emailed me and was looking for some kind of avenue, what do I do next? You're doing what you do next. Now it's time to educate yourself on what really happened and what happened to you physically, physiologically, mentally, spiritually, what happened. And learn about what happened to you. Then once you do that, once you really get an understanding of what really went on, and if you could make someone responsible, you do that. You seek out the help you need to do that. I often refer people to RAINN, RAINN, a national organization that has an 800 number that will direct you to who you need to talk to, whether it be legal, whether it be resources for counseling, whether it be avenues to just to seek some kind of education. They have that information. They have the resources for you. And then spend some time with yourself. I know most humans, that includes me, we want to have someone in our lives. We want to be involved with someone. But when you're emotionally damaged, all you do is emotionally damage other people when you involve them in your situations. And it's I know it seems like, you can do it all on your own and you can kind of separate those feelings, but you really can't, because emotions are not part of departmentalized information. You can't departmentalize emotions. They come in all facets. And you could, something like a smell could upset you. Because I know for years, things like sulfur and copper smells upset me and it would trigger me. But I'm saying to you is that take the time for yourself. Don't get quickly involved in getting into a relationship. Take the time for self-care. Self-care is more than getting your nails done, doing your hair, doing your makeup, getting a new wardrobe, shopping for a new wardrobe, getting shoes. That's not self-care. Self-care is really developing your personal you, really developing who you really are, really finding out what do you want. See, we always give to other people, but we never figure out what we want. And we always seek out to help other people, because I know for years I did that. 27 whole years. I gave my 27 years of my life to someone else because I thought that is what would recompense that empty hole in me. But it never did. Not until I took time to do something I wanted to do and I was fulfilled in that, and not until I knew exactly what I wanted. What is it that you want? How do you feel? Where do you want to go? When do you want to go? And those questions are never answered because we're too busy answering the question for someone else and taking them where they want to go, when they want to go, why they want to go. But find out what you want. And last but not least is know your worth. Know what you're worth. Spend some time on the positives in your life. Even if you have to write them down, what have I accomplished on my own? And then put a big red check next to it that I accomplished this, and get energy from that. Feel the energy of I accomplished that. Just like a child, and I know in your childhood that you've had something, like for me, I won a chewing gum contest. I chewed the gum the longest than anyone in my school. I took that like I can do something. Just small things like that. I can chew gum, for the longest. I can, speak to people. I can finish school. I can do math. I can clean a house. Something amazing that you can do. Give yourself the big check that you've done it, that you can do it. And that will move you along or propel you into the next stage of your life. We often do not give ourselves the great big pat in the back that we've accomplished something. And sometimes, almost all the time, we need to do that. We need to pat ourselves in the back and say that we have done something amazing in our lives. Because trying to forget a traumatic incident will make you forget some amazing situations, amazing and life-changing events in your life. I know for me it has happened. So don't try to forget those things. Turn them into positives. Yes, it was damaging. Yes, it hurt your soul. Yes, people are not going to like what you have to say, but it's your truth. It's not theirs. This is your road. It's not theirs. And you have to understand that. Empower yourself, self-care, appreciate yourself, because you're the only one that can feel these things that you're feeling. Even though there is groups of us that go through trauma, we all don't feel them all the same way. And that's the uniqueness of being a spirit being in a human body. It's the uniqueness. We have to learn to use that spirit in order for us to move along. We don't need anyone on the outside telling us how we feel from the inside. When we were gifted with the inspiration, the intuition, the motivation when we were conceived. And that's the amazing thing that I want you to remember today. When you were conceived, you were giving all the gifts to conquer. See, you're a survivor and not a victim. A victim is that it just happened to, and you don't know which way to go. But now you're in a place you have to take control of what has happened and make it work. Make it work for not just you, but for everyone that comes in contact with you. Just like you, as the dirt road is paved and has the new signs and the turn signals and the railroad crossings, just like that, you have to turn to a beautiful direction for someone else as well as yourself. This is Edna J. White. Thank you for listening. Thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe and like and help me help other survivors as I go along this journey of healing in sexual abuse. Look me up on Facebook at www.facebook.com/livingfromtheinsideout. Look me up on my website, livingfromtheinsideout.t as in Tom, K as in kiss. And you'll be able to schedule time with me, 30 minutes. I give 30 minutes free just to talk and hear what you have to say. And and just if you just need to hear somebody breathe on the other side of the line, I'm there. Again, I thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. And remember to always take care of yourself.